morning, and thank you for joining me today for another episode of Riding with Moose. It's a beautiful Monday morning. Time to get back to work after vacation. And thinking over my vacation and some of the people we met along the way. It's always nice to meet new people. However, sometimes you come in contact with those who are not what it seems the Bible says they should be. And by that I mean sometimes you come in contact with, not per se just this past weekend or over vacation, but in times past as well, numerous times, coming in contact with arrogant preachers. It's sad when you talk about arrogance in the church that you have to realize that sometimes preachers can be some of the most arrogant people that you come in contact with. We know throughout the book of Proverbs numerous times that arrogance and pride is condemned, haughtiness is condemned, and yet it seems that preachers sometimes, or even elders and deacons, can be the ones who are guilty of being arrogant the most often. It seems that preachers have a big problem today, and it's not easy for me to say because I'm a preacher, but I hope I'm not arrogant. I'm trying not to come off as arrogant anyway. But it seems some preachers, especially when they come out of a college, a so-called Christian college, or come from a preaching school, that some of them become arrogant. They act like not only do they know everything now, which they don't, that no one can tell them anything different. And sadly, some are even unwilling to discuss it whatsoever. My biggest problem with arrogance, not only is it wrong, but you take someone who is in error and add that they are arrogant about it, and then they're unwilling to talk about it. They're unwilling to consider the truth. Unwilling to consider that, hey, they may be wrong. And so sadly, preachers sometimes can be the ones who are the most arrogant of all. Sometimes you hear people explain what they believe on something, and a preacher, an arrogant preacher, will say, well, I disagree with that, and tell what they believe, and then not give anything to really back it up. And so and they have no desire to do so. Or maybe a preacher is called out for teaching error, and they have no desire to talk about it. That's that's an area that I have experienced more than once, seeing a preacher who's teaching things that are wrong, trying to talk to them about it, and then have them having no desire to talk about it whatsoever. That's a sign of arrogance, sign of haughtiness, which again, like we mentioned before, in the book of Proverbs, is condemned. Christians are not to be haughty, or not to be puffed up, or to be humble. Christ refers to himself as meek and lowly. If he is to be meek and lowly, certainly we are as well. And so if we are a Christian, let us not be haughty. And if we are a preacher, being a leader and supposedly trying to be an example for the church, let us not be arrogant or haughty either. Let us be humble servants for God, and let us never be one who can be looked upon by others as being arrogant. Thank you for being with me this morning.